Wall Street is continuing to approach Apple as more of a show me story. They're valuing services better than they did in the past. Again, as seen by the valuation metrics. But you don't see Wall Street look at Apple and say, oh, well, we're going to give them this extra high multiple or this elevated multiple and call it future R&D or future products. It's never been like that, at least since I've been following Apple. And I don't expect that to change given Apple's product philosophy, where they don't talk about future products. Journalists will ask them point blank, hey, what about foldable iPhones? No, let's talk about what we just announced. Wall Street hates that. And when I say Wall Street, I'm using a very broad term. I'm referring to market participants. Could be individual investors, but I'm primarily referring to institutional investors, buy side, and mutual funds, hedge funds, etc. They hate that Apple doesn't talk about the future because it makes it so much more difficult for them to figure out, well, how do you value Apple? And what they're doing is they're just taking what the current lineup is and they're projecting out. The average analyst covering Apple, they're not including, oh, well, Apple is expected to come out with a future smart home product, so I'm including that. Apple Vision Pro, well, that's the first product of will eventually be a complete lineup of headsets. I'm going to model revenue this way. No one does that. So Apple, in terms of forward valuations, in terms of forward earnings estimates, it's all based on what we see. And for me, that classifies as a show me story. You're waiting to see what Apple has to say, and then you're responding. And so it's funny when you have a product event like last week, where Wall Street will have certain expectations of what they're expecting. And they are in such a rush to make sense of it all that they'll just kind of I don't even know I don't know what they're tracking or looking at. If this person who reached out to me is accurate, they're just looking at pricing and they're like, oh, iPhone pricing didn't go up. I take that as a negative sign. The takeaway is none of this matters in the long run. This doesn't matter to Apple. This is near term noise.